Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we are going to be solving the mystery of the ghost that you can actually find at night in the swamp near Le Gras and the Bayou in Saint Denis. So this is something you've probably stumbled across once or twice in game and realized, okay, that was kind of creepy. What just happened? And that was sort of the same experience I had until I had wanted to dive a little bit deeper into this. And when you do that, you realize there is so many encounters that you have with this ghost, and they ultimately tell you a story. So let's dive into that today. For starters, it helps to go through all the encounters you can have with this ghost. So it is going to be a bit, but I'm going to show you every encounter that you guys can have right here. In some of the encounters, she will appear, some she will not. And this happens over a series of days if you keep revisiting the same location to the northwest of the swamp and sort of northwest of the city of Saint Denis as well. So take a listen to all these encounters, and then we'll be right back after that.
Come back to me. Come home. I miss you so much. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting. I always loved you. She never loved you. She never did. I love you, my darling. Love the very grandest thing. He's going to come back to me. Honest. He will do. I just know he will, Mommy.
Easy.
I just know he will. Mother, you can be so unkind. So very unkind. It ain't like that. Daddy, I forgave him. Why can't you? Daddy! Daddy, no! Put down the gun, please! Daddy, put down the gun! Do it for me! For your little girl! What am I to do? I gave you everything. Everything I had. No one will have me now. You said all them things. All them things. All them pretty things. But that's all they were.
Okay
Just
then.
pretty things. I was part of this place who never loved me.
Easy. Whoa.
You never loved me at all. And I thought he was a gentleman. Gentleman indeed. You were just hillbilly white trash like my mama always said. Ruined me. You know that. I love you. Daddy, don't say that, Daddy. You're gonna make me cry.
Easy. Easy.
Ow! Leave, Daddy. I think I might lose my mind. Lose it finally and forever.
Easy.
No, Daddy. No, Daddy. Put the gun down. I'm not your little girl no more. Daddy, get out of my way. Daddy! Daddy, listen to him! Take your hands
Easy. Whoa.
He looks just like you. Just like you. I left him for you. I left everything. Hey, stranger. I know you've been watching me. Come, meet me in the swamps by our tree. Come to our tree. I'll be waiting.
Okay, so there's a lot to break down here, but I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what this ghost lady was talking about. And there's actually a lot of similarities to Arthur's story. So let's talk about that right now. So for starters, it looks as if this ghost lady, which we'll talk about her official name in a little bit, fell in love with a man that her parents did not approve of. Again, this sounds a lot like Arthur and Mary, how Arthur and Mary fell in love with each other, but Mary's parents disapproved of Arthur. So I'm going to assume by what we heard that the man in this story probably did not love the girl as much as she did. And it turns out that they were definitely not married. It looked like he was able to charm her into bed and that she gave up her virginity to him. And the reason we can assume this is because she says, "No one will have me now." And this sort of sounds like that maybe she's pregnant and that she is damaged goods, because it sort of sounds like she came from an upper class family. You can kind of tell based off of the clothing that she's wearing. And she now might have lost her line of suitors since she now won't be considered pure. And then a little bit later down the line, it sounds as if her parents found out and her dad tried to kill the man with a shotgun. And he left ultimately fearing for his own life. I mean, wouldn't you leave? However, by not sticking around for her, the ghost realizes that all the pretty things he told her seemed to be just pretty things to get her to sleep with him. And it sort of seems as if he never actually loved this girl. However, sometime later down the line, he seems to do the right thing and ultimately comes back to her, and she looks to forgive him. However, her father definitely does not and tries to kill him once again when the lover tries to explain that he will marry her before she gives birth, so the baby is not born out of wedlock. We actually hear her say, "I've forgiven him, Daddy. Why can't you? Just listen to him. Take your hands off of him." She says that line a couple of times. So when that happens, again, the lover flees for his life, and the baby, which we know turns out to be a boy, is born. And the second to last encounter, the ghost is actually pleading with her lover to come back to her because she loves him and the baby looks so much like him too. Now, we never hear the lover respond, but the ghost claims that she has left him for you, which to me means that she might have abandoned the baby to come find him. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. And maybe the reason this lover never came back is because he told her that he was done once and for all, didn't want to deal with the dad and the ghost. And she was so distraught with grief that she ended up killing her father for driving him away, and maybe the baby as well, because he was a reminder of the man and the lover that she ultimately lost and never have. And we'll talk about why that theory makes sense in a little bit. But after that, it looks like she took her own life. She killed herself after feeling guilty for killing her father and the baby, and realized that she had lost her one true love. And then she hangs herself at the tree in which they would secretly meet up at. Now, I know that was a lot to take in there, but why does all of that make sense? Well, it actually turns out that we can find a grave of the woman very close by to where this location happens. It's actually just south of Shady Bell, where your Chapter 4 camp is, believe it or not. So it's pretty easy to find if you're in Chapter 4. So in this area of graves, you can see that one is more pronounced or more distinct than the rest, and it is Agnes Dowd. Aged 19, tragically took her own life and others on September 4th, 1883. May she rest in peace. So all of those things sort of add up with our ghost. She looked around the age of 19. It matches her story, tragically took her own life and others. And the name makes sense as well, Agnes Dowd. And it was on September 4th, 1883, which would have been about 16 years before our game ultimately takes place. So I guess that would make the age of the ghost technically now like 36, 37, sometime along those lines. I don't know if ghosts age, but if they do, that's how old she would ultimately be. Now, the reason we know that that is the ghost girl is because in the in-game strategy guide, Rockstar confirms that Agnes Dowd is the name of the ghost. So this isn't just some random grave that we're attaching to the ghost girl. Like, that's actually her. Rockstar officially confirmed it. So this sort of brings up a couple of questions here. Agnes definitely had a son. Now, there's a couple of different theories. One is that she took her son's own life, which would be very tragic. But there's a second theory is that the son could be alive. And if that's the case, the son is probably like a young man at this point. Maybe it's someone we haven't even interacted with, because we can assume the son would have been born on the same year, so 1883. So that means that during the game right now in 1899, again, he's roughly 16 or 17 years old. So again, wouldn't even be considered an adult. So if the son of Agnes Dowd is out there, it's definitely just a kid, and we probably won't even know who that is. Now, I'm actually going to do a deeper dive into this a little bit later on, maybe in a future video, but there was something about the gravestone that made me kind of interested. It said, tragically took her own life and others on September 4th, 1883. And the fact that she took her own life in 1883 rang a bell in my head of something I had seen before in game. And that was actually the town of Pleasance. So if you guys have never gone to the town of Pleasance before, it's like an abandoned town. You see, it was founded in 1883, August 1883. However, it's abandoned and all the citizens look dead. And this is just a theory, but her gravestone said that she took the lives of others, and all the people in this town of Pleasance died in September 1883, the same time that Agnes Dowd died. So I wonder if there is any connection here to the town of Pleasance and what happened to the ghost girl. They are in the same state. They are roughly in the same area. So I think that right there could make sense. Now, the only other thing that is kind of interesting is there's a character in Red Dead Online. Her name is Allison O'Dowd, and she appears in a mission called Love and Honor. And she sort of fits the description of what Agnes Dowd would look like. And we know that Red Dead Online takes place before single player. So could this be Agnes Dowd? Well, I think the answer there is no. Obviously, it's a different name, Allison, Agnes. I think it is just purely coincidence that these two characters are similar in appearance and also have a very similar last name. But I'm sure a lot of you guys would have mentioned that, so I thought it was important to bring up in this video. But anyways, that right there is all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. And that right there, I think, solves the mystery of the ghost girl you've probably seen in the swamp in Red Dead Redemption 2. As always, I'd love for you guys to contribute to this mystery in the comments down below. Let me know what you think happened down there and more. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.